Hello and welcome back to Colonial Airstream. My name is Patrick Botticelli and I'm a salesperson here at the dealership. Today I'm going to go over the smallest traditional Airstream travel trailer made. This is the 2024 Airstream Bambi 16RB. This floor plan is a 4-person sleeper. It's got a front dining table and a beautiful panoramic window, a center galley kitchen, also has a center wet bath with toilet and shower, and a rear double bed. There's also wardrobe storage and roof locker storage throughout. The exterior is 16 feet 1. That is from the ball to the back of the trailer, and it's only 9 feet 3 tall. That's from the ground to the top of the air conditioning. And the gross vehicle rating is 3,500 pounds, and it has a dry weight of 3,050 before factory options, giving you 450 pounds of net cargo carrying capacity, and the hitch weight is only 450 pounds. The trailer is 8 feet wide, 7'7" on the interior, and the interior headroom is 6'4", and that's just to the bottom of the air conditioning. So there's other spots of the trailer just slightly higher. It's all made out of aluminum, beautiful coated aluminum, buck riveted in place. You got a seam, a sheet of aluminum here, a seam that overlaps. You got your center belt line protection, and then the side sheet meets the underbelly. There's a rubber rail protection, and the whole entire underbelly of the trailer is completely sealed and wrapped up in aluminum. Also is insulated, and there's heated tanks. So it has a forced hot air propane furnace, which is 18,000 BTU, that ducts air down into your tanks. There's a 23-gallon freshwater tank on board and a 30-gallon combination gray-black waste tank down below. Has an awning on this side, and you know what? I talk about it a lot. We do a lot of videos, but I'm going to actually show you today how easy it is to deploy. Just unlock it in 2 positions. Make sure your entry door is locked, check the weather, make sure there's no storms or wind. And this is really a sunshade, so you should only really have it out when you're actively sitting underneath it. If you go away from the trailer, just put it away. Grab it, it's spring loaded, so you want to keep your hand on it the whole time. You grab your rafter arm and snap it onto the end, lock it in place. Then you walk down to the other side, you grab your other rafter arm, put it on the end of the wheel, lock it in place, bring one side up a little bit. You could bring this side up to number 4, which is the highest setting, 4 by the door, so your door doesn't rub. And then you could roll and tuck this in nice and neat here, so it's not flapping in the wind. But again, put it away before you leave the trailer. Best practice, right? Entry door has heavy-duty aluminum hinges here, a deadbolt and entry door lock with a grab handle. You got a window that has some privacy film. You got a gutter rail over the entry door, a step that tucks in, and a step light. And this is a certified green emerald rated trailer, the highest rating you could possibly get. Of course, Airstreams are RVIA certified. You have 225/75 of R15-inch rims and tires, Goodyear Endurance, Load Rain E, max inflation 80 PSI. You want to check your lug nut torques, follow the procedure here. Every time before you tow the trailer, check your tire pressure and lug nut torque. Best practice. You have an outside GFCI protected electrical outlet here. That will work when you're plugged into shore power at a campground. Up top has an optional 100-watt solar panel, and this has the optional lithium battery upgrade. So there's 2 100-amp-hour lithium batteries, 12-volt, with heat. So they have little heaters built in so they can take a charge when it's close to or about below freezing. LED running lights, of course, LED taillights, of course, safety glass windows, tinted windows, emergency exit. You got a window that opens here. Every window that opens has an insect screen, license plate bracket, Bambi medallion, rear trunk, lockable, insulated, weather sealed. You also have little bins that come with the trailer. You could pass them through to the inside. You pull them outside. There's some more bins here and there. There's even a light outside so you can see at night. And then the vinyl flooring that's inside this trailer goes throughout, goes all the way into your trunk, but they add these extra rubber mats here. Now take a look at this. All the cabinets are plywood with laminate. This is Italian light ply. No particle board, no sticker wrap. That's quite different than your traditional travel trailer that's on the market. Very durable materials. Also, the floor, the subfloor, is not particle board, it's not melamine, it's not plywood, it's composite. So it could get wet and will never rot out. Also has better screw retention, so you don't get the squeaks, and there's no tongue and groove seams. It's one piece throughout the whole entire trailer. And everything, when we get inside to see this, I know you saw a little B-roll clips in the beginning of the interior when I was explaining it, but when you get inside, everything that's inside this trailer is carried through that entry door. They don't put things in through the window, they don't put things on the floor and then build the box around it. They build the shell first, they add it to the chassis, and they hand carry everything through the entrance door. Up top, you got a wireless backup camera. It comes with a monitor that goes in your tow vehicle. Plug it into a 12-volt socket, turn on your parking or headlights, and that's what powers the camera. 30 amp shore power connection. You got about a 20-foot cord here. There's the smart plug, so it easy unsnaps and locks in, no twist lock. You don't have to worry about not getting good contact and melting and burning out your power cord. And when you go to campground, this is 30 amps, so if you have it plugged into 30 amp, you can run your air conditioning and microwave. We give you an adapter here at Colonial Airstream that allows you to adapt this to plug it into a household outlet, and you can run everything in the trailer except for your air conditioning. It also will charge your battery because there's an onboard battery charger. This is the propane furnace exhaust. This is the propane tankless water heater, Girard water heater. Don't want to store things in here. Easily turn it on and set your temperature from the inside. The furnace self-ignites from the inside, so you just set your temperature, it comes on and off. You don't have to go out and light anything manually. You also have a cable connection, so when you go to a campground, you can hook up to their cable service. Your combination gray-black waste tank has a discharge tube right here and a waste gate that you pull out. You take the cap off, snap on your waste hose, get this into the ground nice and secure. You can screw it in, you could use the donut we give to you, snap that in, make sure you're wearing gloves, right? Then you just pull this handle and your waste will discharge out. And then when you're done, you could close it. You got a light out here to illuminate this area at night. And to take it a step further, Airstream adds a black tank flush. So you can take, you don't want to mix these up, so they're clearly labeled. Take a regular garden hose, hook it up to this fitting. After you empty your tank and you have the waste gate still open, it will spray the walls of the tank down and flush out all that residual waste. If you practice that each and every time you use your trailer before you put it away to sturge, you're probably not going to have a smelly tank or a smelly trailer. When you're done with this waste hose, it stores in a waste hose storage tube. Check this out. Underneath the trailer, you got your waste hose storage tube. Stick this in all the way in. This fits about 20 feet total. And then you take the end off and slide that in. And you put your cap on. And it's a good idea to use something to keep this from undoing when you're driving, maybe a carabiner. City water connection, so that 23-gallon freshwater tank does not fill here, it fills here. Take the cap off, stick your freshwater drinking hose that Colonial Airstream gives you in here. When the tank's filled, it will leave out of the air valve here. You want to drain the tank underneath the trailer. There's low point drains. You get to drain this down. But when you go back to this, when you hook up to a campground's water pressure, this has a water pressure regulator built into it. This supplies water to all your plumbing faucets. And when you turn the faucet on, it allows more water in. This is your own tank that you use your 12-volt water pump to pump water from the tank throughout your faucets. When you hook up here, it does not fill here. Below that is an outside utility shower with hot and cold water. The wand hangs up here and it's a lockable door. That's what it looks like locked. You got your window over the kitchen. This bottom portion opens, the top does not. VIN plate with production information, tire size, tire pressure. And then it has stabilizer jacks, all four corners of the trailer. So there's one here, one by the entrance step, and there's two in the back. You just crank them down. You're not going to level the trailer with these. This takes the bounce out of your walk. Just like that. Once it hits the ground, go about another half a turn and you're done. You can put leveling blocks underneath it, snap pads underneath it. 3M film protects your body from when you're driving down the highway. any rocks kick up. Helps protect the clear coat. You could add aftermarket at our dealership, stainless steel wrap protectors like the Caravelle would have that would cover this area. You have a big tow vehicle with big tires that kick up a lot of rocks. You could add them aftermarket. Now, let's talk about a little bit of difference between this and a Caravelle. Caravelle is the same exact floor plan. It's $12,000 to $14,000 more. Why? Well, for one, it has the stainless steel wrap protectors. Two, it would have a metal battery box. It will have aluminum entry steps, screen door guards, ducted air conditioning, 2,000 watt inverter system, cooktop ventilation, upgraded seating materials, upgraded stereo system. It also will have upgraded windows on the side, a panoramic window in the rear, optional window awnings you could get on the Caravelle you can't get, upgraded awning material. There's about 100 differences between the two different models. We sell equal amounts of both, so there's a buyer for either one. And they both have their own interior decor patterns. Talking about decor, there's two choices you have on a Bambi. You have the dune, and you also have ocean. So you got a blue and a gray seating material. The floor, the countertops, and the cabinets all stay the same on either Bambi. Caravelle has its own color palettes. These are your solar stone guards. Protects your front panoramic window from shattering if you hit rocks on the road. Open up the two tethers, lift up, turn the knurl knob, and you can lock this in place, and then that allows you to open your window. This window is glass. There's a Lexan material. This opens 3 different heights. The corners don't open, the glass doesn't open, but the rock guard swings out so you can clean leaves and debris out from behind it. You turn these a quarter turn, pull it out, lift it off, put it on the ground, clean it. Over here is the propane tanks in a nice aluminum cover. 2 20-pound tanks. What's nice about that is you empty one, instead of going to place and waiting for the guy to come out and fill them, you could just exchange them at a gas station. You have a switch over from left to right. You can manually switch bottles over. It has an auto switch over built into it, so if one is empty, it'll automatically switch to the next. And there's a sight gauge that tells you red for empty, green for it has some type of propane. Best practice to always tow the trailer with your propane tanks turned off. No need to have them on when you're driving down the highway. To get the bottles out, you undo this little wing nut here, lift the cover off, lift the bottles out, and you're done. Behind that, we have the batteries in the plastic battery box. There's 2 12-volt Battleborn batteries in here, 100 amp hours apiece. And you also have a battery heater switch, which is just turned on right now. It's too warm out today for it actually to turn on. It's thermostatically controlled, so when the temperature gets down to a certain degree, it will automatically kick on as long as you have the switch on. Over here on the side, we have a propane quick disconnect port. You can lock this in, snap this in right here, spin the collar back, turn the gas valve on, and you can hook up a low pressure grill to this side. They give you about this much, so you don't do anything silly and try to cook underneath your awning and create a fire. You also have some tools. They give you a multi-tool, has a 1/2-inch drive socket on the end, so if you need this to operate anything on the trailer, you can do so. You also have an electric hitch jack, raise and lower the trailer. You got a light to illuminate this area at night. This comes off so you can manually crank the trailer up and down just in case you had some type of battery failure. 2 5/16" balls required to tow this. It has a coupler lock that we give you at Colonial Airstream, so no one can lift this up and get a ball underneath it. Safety chains, you always want to crisscross them when you're towing. It has a 7-way wiring harness here too. So your vehicle's going to need to have a 7-way, and it's also going to need to have an electric brake controller. It's also going to need to be compatible with towing at least 3,500 pounds with a 450-pound hitch weight, so keep that in mind too. Some small SUVs, most mid-size SUVs could tow this. You just want to check your specs. You also want to be mindful of that hitch weight and the payload of your vehicle. You have a breakaway switch here too that attaches firmly to your hitch receiver on your vehicle. If the two trailer and truck are able to detach for some reason when you're going down the highway, well, you want this trailer passing you in the shoulder, so this would pull out and activate the brakes on the trailer. So it's very important that you have some type of battery in the trailer when you're towing, because this will not work if there's no batteries on board. You never want to pull this out and leave this out, because what's going to happen, it's going to activate your brakes, burn out your magnets, and drain your battery so quick. This is the most common tech support call we get, and we mention it in every video. Pay attention to that. They're very important. Over here, we have your spare tire. So the spare tire is a full-size spare tire on a steel wheel, not a beautiful aluminum rim. You pull this pin out, drop the arm down, and there's your spare tire. You want to check your tire pressure on that too. People forget that all the time. Over here we have a solar port. So if you want to hook up an external solar panel that has its own MPPT solar charge controller built in. If the trailer is parked in the shade, you could have that panel work instead. If you want to combine the two, you would need a third solar charge controller, the one in the trailer, the one on your panel, and one more, and you can work them both together to increase your solar capacity. Up on the roof, there is a TV and radio antenna with an antenna booster. You have your air conditioning there, and it has a max air fan and a bathroom fan up there, and of course, the solar panel. So every inch of that roof is used for some type of system. All right, now, before we head inside, I got to talk about this entry door. I mean, it's like a bank vault. It's all insulated as well as the whole entire trailer, walls, ceiling, floor. Screen door detaches from the main door. This fills the gap here. You have your deadbolt and you have your lock. People accidentally leave these deadbolts out all the time and slam the door and bend these over, and then the deadbolt doesn't work anymore. You also want to make sure you fully unlock the trailer. If you do it partially like that, which a lot of people do, when you slam the door shut, it's going to click over. So just be mindful when you operate the trailer. These little tips should help you out. Stainless steel hinge, 6 rivets on each hinge. Snaps together and snaps right into the body so it doesn't fly around. Let's appreciate this beautiful Bambi medallion that they have on this trailer, all painted and milled. Talk about pricing before we head inside, might as well. Base price is $60,400 for a 2024 Airstream Bambi 16RB. The option that it has is the solar charging system with the lithium battery at $4,100. The destination and fuel surge charge is $2,700, giving you a total MSRP of $67,200. And there's also a weight sticker here on the door that tells you, after this trailer was built with the options, how much cargo carrying capacity. This one has 351. Wait, I thought it was 450. Don't forget, we put the batteries and the solar on. That adds 100 pounds, so it lowers your cargo carrying capacity slightly. You got grip tape at the entry door so you don't slip out. You got this little piece here that allows you to sweep the floor out nice and neat. Look at the welds here on this extruded aluminum frame for the entry door. Even has a bumper, so if you forget to duck on your way out, you're not going to hit your head. And you got your welcome mat here. Little pro tip, if the floor ever gets wet, don't leave this down. It's going to trap all that moisture there. Got your fire extinguisher here, has a waste pail here, and then we got this drawer with plenty of storage here. Of course, you got your vinyl flooring throughout, and then we have the dining area. Let's check this out. If you sit here, you got a view out the back. If you have your screen door open, you got this panoramic window all around. You could really see what's going on. You got full visibility all the way around. And again, this window opens. It has an insect screen. You got a light over this area too, and you got full blackout privacy curtains that go all the way around. Underneath this is some systems and your water pump and some winterization. You have your propane and carbon monoxide leak detector, CO detector, battery main disconnect. So if you want to store the trailer and shut off the battery completely, you could turn that switch right here. And this easily folds into a dinette, a bed, right? So lift it up, lift the leg in, swing the table down. Sometimes you got to lift a cushion or two to center it, just like that. Perfect. Then these just unvelcro, and these snap into the wall. You could take them and put them underneath, or you could leave them here. You can lean them against the wall and use as a sofa, but check this out. It's so easy, not complicated at all. And 41 by 92-ish. Wide enough for 2 adults. Got plenty of room for me to lay out. Don't forget, these are removable, so you get that full length if you wanted to. And someone could sleep on the inside. I've seen customers that bring their adult kids, and they all fit in here perfectly comfortable. For reference, I'm 5'9". I'll give you an idea of my size. Overhead roof locker stores, these are just timber doors. They swing up. You got a speaker here, you got a speaker there. You have your wireless backup camera monitor. It goes in your tow vehicle. Antenna boosters over here. Clarion stereo system. A USB input. Over here by the door, we have our sail lights. which are dimmable, and your step light for the outside. Now moving on to the center galley kitchen. 3.1 cubic foot, 12 volt compressor style refrigerator with freezer. Well, look how deep that is. Remember those old propane fridges? The doors were huge, but they only went back a little bit. Huge advantage to these. They're not a fire hazard if you leave them on with the propane on when you're driving, because they don't run on propane. You got a 2-burner gas cooktop. Just put it to light, ignite, boom, done. Put the vent fan on in the ceiling. This is a manual max fan. On the Caravelle, this would be power, and then you just turn it on. 3 different speeds. And what's nice about this max fan, I just cleaned my own personal. I have 2 Airstreams. I have an Airstream van and an old Airstream Bambi. The blades got really dirty, so I just twisted these, took this out, hosed it off. Allen wrench, took the blade off, cleaned it, and then I wiped everything down inside. 10-minute project, clean as a whistle. Residential style faucet, so it's a metal faucet, not a plastic faucet. That's normal in the RV business to have plastic faucets. Airstream does a lot better. You have a sink cover, stainless steel sink. This window opens up for vent. And then you also have a privacy shade. GFCI protected electrical outlet here. That'll run when you're on shore power. There's also one underneath the dinette. You got some in the bedroom as well. Tankless water heater, so you just set your temperature on the water heater itself. And you know, during the day, what I recommend is set it at like 100 degrees, 95 degrees, because you're only going to need to like wash your hands. And you just turn it on all the way to hot. When you want to take a shower, you could crank it up to the 115, 120. Turn the faucet on all the way hot. You don't need to mix the water at the faucet. You could adjust your temperature here. And it's instant. If you do cycle the faucet off and turn it back on, you're going to get a little bit of gap of cold water. Sea level 2 tank monitoring system allows you to monitor how much your battery voltage is, how much fresh water you have in percentages. So industry normal in most RVs is thirds, quarters. This tells you all the way from 0 to 100%. And the black, which is your combination gray-black, says 0. This will not register anything until you have at least a few gallons of water in the tank. That's a little pro tip for you. So we get a lot of calls. I use the toilet, I flushed it 10 times. Nothing. Well, the toilet only uses a couple cups of water per flush. Use a little bit more, you'll see it register on here. You could also turn on the water pump here. That pumps the water pressure up to pressure and shuts off. And then when you feel the drop in pressure, it'll kick the faucet on. Never, never leave this thing on when you're driving. You know how many calls we get about that? Oh, I just flooded out my trailer. Turn it off. Then you got a solar charge display. Right now we're in a building, so we have 0 watts coming in, but if we pull it out in the sun, you could get up to 100 watts. Realistically, it's between 80 and 90 watts will come in the trailer on a nice bright sunny day where the sun's right overhead. You got a little light here. If it's too bright, you could turn one. You got roof locker here. You got roof locker here, and then once you go up high enough, they kind of stay. You got your owner's bag. This has all the owner's manuals for Airstream and for all the components they put in the trailer. Also has a 13,500 B2 air conditioning with electric heat strip built into it. You got your filters that you got to clean often. I see a lot of them come in completely clogged. Maintenance, you got to do your RV. Owner's manual tells all the information you need to how to maintain your trailer. We have a lot of tech tip videos you can watch on our YouTube channel, Colonial Airstream. We go over a lot of stuff like this. You turn it to cool, right here, warm cool, and turn your fan speed 1, 2, or 3. That's it. And then you can dump air straight down through these vents, or front or back. And if you just want to have like fan only and not have the air conditioning compressor kick on, you can turn it on over here. And if you want to put on electric heat, you turn it to the optional heat setting and turn it to warm. And that will take the chill out of there. Your furnace is your main source of heat. That heats the room and to your tanks. This is just a space heater for the room. You got an extruded aluminum protection here for the side of the bathroom box. Again, all plywood laminate. You got some code hooks here. You got a dry erase boards, little magnets. Back to the kitchen. Drawer here. This is cool. They got this little tray here you can put stuff in. A silverware organizer built in. And they're all full extensions, so you don't have to reach all the way in the back. You got a microwave here that will work when you're plugged into shore power connection. And then you got a little flip down here They give you as much storage as you can. Airstreams never waste storage, but the wheels behind there, the wheel well kicks in. Right, this low center of gravity trailer. This is one of the best towing travel trailers you could buy. The whole reason this is built from the ground up to be towed and to be towed well. It's aerodynamic in the front and sides if you got crosswinds or trucks blowing past you, but it's also very well balanced. When the engineers design these floor plans, they put everything in certain places so the trailer is not uneven. Very important. So privacy curtain here, you've got a Velcro here. Now if I want to get out of the bathroom and get changed right here, and I want to close all the windows up, I could just pull it across. And it's thick here and it stuffs away nice and neat. And you can take it off and clean it if you ever wanted to clean it. Behind that we have our wardrobe, and in the wardrobe you got a wardrobe rod, you got a light here, goes all the way down to the floor. We have an access panel. Airstream gives you a lot of access panels because these things, the service is built in. Every Airstream trailer is built with service in mind. Techs love working on Airstreams because Airstream, they don't have to tear apart all the furniture to get the stuff. Also, this lid lifts up and you can get to the water heater, the back of the water heater. And it also has a strap to keep it up. And there's going to be QR codes throughout the whole trailer in key areas that people have a lot of questions about. So you scan that with your phone, it pulls up a tech support page related to things that would be in that area. All right, let's move on to the bedroom. 48 by 78 inch bed, real mattress. You know, you're not going to throw this mattress away and put a new one in. Airstream gives you a good mattress. Below that, we have the battery charger and fuses and breakers, and your GFCI reset. You have the pass-through that allows you to get right into that trunk space. So if I want to grab one of these bins, I could do so right from here. And then we got your furnace over here to the right. It looks like a speaker, a subwoofer. That's where your heat comes out. In the bedroom, again, 5'9", I got plenty of room here. Someone could sleep next to me. You even have a dog on the bed. You got your emergency exit window that you could jump out in case of emergency. You got your full blackout curtains. You got your vent window here that opens out, so you got ventilation in the bed. Insect screen, you got a reading light here, reading light there. Roof locker storage up top, here and here. Then, at the head of the bed, they give you 2 USB charge ports, USB A and C, so you got 4 total. You got a hamper, you got plenty of room to stuff things in there. Nice and neat to organize the bedroom. You got a bedroom dimmable light in here. Then you also have your heating control, so you could turn the furnace on and off and adjust your temperature from here. On this side, we have an electrical outlet, another hamper, your TV, which is 12 volt. This swings around, so you want to watch it at the dinette, swing it all the way around. And you got to turn on your antenna booster that was in that front overhead cabinet, and that will give you reception. And comes with the bedspread. Decor-wise, everything's the same except for the color of the cushions. Check this out. Nice. You don't have to worry about bumping into a handle. You got a bar on the back of the doors to hang things on. And you got a full fiberglass pan here in the bottom, dumps directly into that combination tank. You have a plastic toilet. Caravel's going to have the porcelain toilet. Caravel's a lot heavier trailer too, so a lot of those things add weight. Put your foot partially on the pedal, then all the way on the pedal to flush, and it goes right down into the tank. Then you have your shower sprayer, hangs on the wall. Really nice fixtures they give you here. And you could turn it on and off using the shower controls here. There's a little place for your shampoo and your soap. Water resistant toilet paper holder. And oh no, everybody's gonna watch me in the shower. Not today. Look at that. Then you even have a curtain that covers this wall to keep the wall dry. You got a curtain that covers this wall to keep this wall dry. And you have a fan in here. Check this out. Gets all that steam outside. Now, I personally would put the one out there on too. Have both of them, dual action. Then there's a clothesline. that goes across. You can hang any light items on there, but there's plenty of room in here to get dressed, to use the toilet, to shower, whatever you have to do. Both of my Airstreams have wet baths, and I manage perfectly fine. They dry quickly. I wipe them down with a small towel. You don't need those huge towels. You could do a small towel here, dry yourself off, and then just wipe stuff down. And it's very important to keep that drain plug in when you're towing, so you don't have, there's a P-trap underneath there that doesn't allow odor. Sometimes that sloshes around, and you don't want that odor in your trailer, right, when you're towing on the highway. Well, I hope you enjoyed the tour. 2024 Airstream Bambi 16RB is available here at Colonial Airstream, Millstone Township, New Jersey. You can check us out on our website at colonialairstream.com. Telephone number is 800-265-9019. This is a long, full walkthrough tour inside and out, so thanks for coming along for the journey. If you enjoy short videos, we have a lot of short videos on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube Shorts. And remember, I'm a salesperson here at Colonial Airstream, and I would love to sell you your next Airstream, so please call me. See you next time.